Hello. Today is Thursday, April the 17th, 2025, and welcome back to my channel. I want to take a moment to thank you all for your comments and your feedback. I'm so enjoying it. I'm really grateful. A lot of you are saying that my videos have been helpful to you and that you feel that you're being heard and that my information and what I'm sharing is genuinely touching you and helping you. And I'm really grateful to hear that. So I'm super excited. So today I want to share with you about something that I think is really important that I have learned and kind of a framework that I've developed over the years. And it's all about designing and living a joyful life. So I'm going to try to keep this brief and really to the point because I don't think it's complicated. I think we can overcomplicate a lot of things, and I don't like to do that. I like to keep things basic and clear because I think the more clear and basic they are, the easier they are for us to actually do. And I want you to be able to actually execute on the things that I share and not have to think them over for 100 years before you do them, like I kind of did. So I want you to learn from my mistakes because I made a whole lot of them. And my mom always used to say, it's good to learn from your mistakes, but it's better to learn from other people's mistakes. So learn from mine. Okay. So, how to design and live a joyful life. The first thing is you have to design a life. It's not just going to happen. A joyful life is not just going to fall into your lap. It's not going to happen because you read good books. It's not going to happen because you sit at some wise person's feet and listen to them all day. Those things will be helpful. Books are great. I read a lot of them. Smart people, wise people, awesome. I surround myself with as many of them as I possibly can. But the reality is that as much information as you take in, as much wisdom as you consume, if you don't put it to good use, it's not going to make any difference in your life. So you have to take up your cross, so to speak, and design your life based on all the information you collect. You have to sit down, roll up your sleeves, and make a plan. You have to design your life. If you want to have a tasty cake, you have to decide what kind of cake you want. You have to look for cake recipes. You have to go to the store and buy the ingredients. You got to buy the pan and the mixer and all the things that you need. You have to have a kitchen. You have to have a stove. It's not just going to fall in your lap and you get to eat it all day. You have to design it. You have to plan it. So you have to do that. You have to decide what kind of cake you want. And then you have to design the cake and then you have to cook it. And then you may have to adjust the recipe, right? You may not like the cake that you bake the first time. It's got too many eggs in it or too much vanilla. You may like to put lemon in it instead of vanilla. Maybe you want to add a different kind of icing to it than the recipe called for the first time. You have to adjust it and tweak it. So you have to design your joyful life. And then you have to live it. You have to design it and then you have to live it to see if you like it. Because if you don't like the first iteration of it, you're going to have to tweak it as you go. Okay. So it's a process, in other words. And you may not like the first version of it. You may have to say, I don't like that. I have to do it over. I need a do-over. Like one of the videos the other day, I said, get really good at starting over. I'll post a link to that video below because a lot of people like that too. You have to get really good at starting over. But it all starts with designing and making up your mind that a good life, a joyful life is not going to fall in your lap. No one's going to do it for you because no one else cares. They do not care. I'm here to tell you they don't care. They may love you. They may think about you from time to time. But at the end of the day, they care about themselves. They don't care about you. You care about you and you design your life. So that's the first thing. So once you make up your mind that you're going to design your joyful life, then you kind of have to think about what that's going to look like. Okay. So this is high level. Once again, we're not going down too deep in the weeds, but you kind of got to decide what makes you happy. Where does your joy come from? Where does your joy come from? And it can come from a lot of different places. But since this is a channel about entrepreneurship and building a business, one of the things you want to make sure you do is think about what kind of work you want to do. What kind of career do you want to have in your life, right? So because we spend so much of our time working, so much of our time in a career, you want to make sure that you design a career for yourself that brings you joy. Okay. Now, of course, the younger you are, the more likely you are to just go get a job, right? So you can make money, right? And that's good. Like I have children right now. Well, they're adults, but they're young adults, right? And they have these ideas about what their purpose in life is and all the things they love to do. But of course, we also have conversations now about how really, I really want you to fulfill your purpose in life, but you're extremely young right now. And what you really need to do is pay your rent and buy your groceries, right? That's the first priority when you're that age. Yes, do things that fulfill your purpose and work toward that. But the younger you are, the more important it is to just get experience under your belt, build out your resume and make money. Learn how to save money, learn how to budget money, learn how to manage your money, make as much money as you can, work a job, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 25 jobs, like make however much money you can. Like don't work 25 jobs, but you know what I mean? Like make some money. So you learn how to make money, learn how to get along with people, learn how to manage people, learn how to participate in a team, learn how to deal with people when you don't feel like dealing with people, because dealing with people is a big part of life. Like you got to learn how to do that. And the only way to do that is to be with people. And one of the best ways to do that is have a job with other people, right? Where you're working with other people. So do that. But create as you move forward and have these experiences in your life, it's going to become more and more clear to you what your purpose is. And you have more than one purpose in your life. I did a video on that too. You don't just have one purpose for 100 years, like you have multiple purposes in your life, but they will all basically center around a certain core that is unique to you. So one of the things you want to look for and be on the lookout for and be aware of as you move forward is, what is that core thing that lights you up, that brings you joy? And if you can find a career path or a business path, an entrepreneurial path that allows you to work in that purpose, that is going to bring you joy. And it's going to bring you a whole lot of joy, because once you find that, you're going to be able to create a path, design a life that is going to allow you to work around that purpose and around that career path for your whole entire life. It doesn't mean you're going to have the same business all your life or the same job all your life, but you're going to be able to position yourself to work around that type of core, that type of purpose, that type of path for your whole life. And that is going to bring you joy. It's going to bring you joy. Once I experience that, I have been able to wrap everything I do for a living around that core. And I have been happy and joy filled, not just happy, because happiness can be fleeting, but I'm talking about joy in my soul, joy in the way I serve, joy in the way I live. So I don't even work anymore. Like I don't work, but I make a living, but I don't do it by working. I do it by fulfilling my purpose. And once you connect those two things together, you are off to the races and you have joy every day, every day. Like every day is not lovely and sunshine and roses. Some days really suck. Like a couple of days ago, I took my mother to the emergency room. Well, the ambulance took her to the emergency room and I followed along. That was 48 hours of suckiness for me, but I still had joy in my heart. I still had joy in my heart. So every day is joy filled. And because I have designed a joyful life for myself and I'm living it. So no matter what happens, I still have joy, right? Okay, so that's the first thing. Design in your head what you want, and then create some sort of career path, some sort of work that can surround yourself with what you love to do and what brings you joy. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is make it profitable, like make it make money, like find a career that makes money, right? So that you're not just living paycheck to paycheck for your whole life. Now, this may have ebbs and flows because there may be times in your life when you are living paycheck to paycheck. For example, when you have children. I remember the first time I went to the grocery store after I had my first child. I went to the grocery store, went right down the aisle where the diapers were. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, we're going to be reusing diapers because, whoa, these things are expensive. Like, you know, children are expensive and they're just more expensive now than they've ever been. Having children is expensive. Like, that's not a news flash. But the point is that sometimes things are leaner than others. But what you want to do is build a career, a business that allows you to grow. And the sky's the limit. Like, you can make more money next year than you did this year. Like, so you can build out a career path, a business path for yourself that is profitable. Right. So you can build a profitable business. So you can have a joyful life and then add a profitable business on top of that, a profitable way to support yourself so that you're not just making money, you are making joy. And you are also making money because money is important. You need it to pay your bills. You need it to support yourself. You need it to have great experiences and take yourself on trips and get your hair cut and get your nails done. And if you know, support your family and be able to create experiences for yourself. Like, you need to pay for that. So you need to build a joyful life that is also supported by and enhanced by a profitable business. That's number 2. And number 3 is a meaningful legacy. That is, you are having an impact on the world. You are having an impact first on yourself, because if you're not positively impacting yourself, nothing else is going to happen. You can't positively impact anyone or anything else if you don't first positively impact yourself. So positively impact yourself, then you can positively impact the people around you, your children, your spouse, your significant other, your family members, your neighbors, your homeowners association, your apartment friends, your the people at your kids' school, your wherever you worship, those people, you want to have a positive impact on them. You can move out into the larger community at your job or in your business with your clients and your customers and the communities that you're a part of. But first, you have to have a meaningful legacy and you have to be living it. And here's the beauty of all of this. Once you are living a joyful life and once you have a profitable business, when you put those two things together, the meaningful legacy happens automatically. You do not have to do extra work to make that happen. It automatically creates itself. So you get number 3 organically and by default. So you really only have to focus on the first 2. The joyful life, which is really what you want. Knowing what you want knocks down so many dominoes, so many. I observe that one of the reasons why some people are unhappy is because they just don't sit down and figure out what they want. So they don't get it because they don't know what it is. And they're unhappy. They're unhappy because they don't have what they want, but they don't have what they want because they don't sit down and take the time to figure out what that is. So how can you be happy or joy-filled if you don't have what you want because you don't know what you want? Well, who's responsible for figuring out what you want? You are. I am. Me. Nobody's going to tell me that. That's my job. It's my job to figure that out. Not my father's, not my mother's, not my spouse's, not my friends. Mine. Me, 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 me. All roads lead back to me. It's my job to figure that out. But once you do, once you figure that out and you know what brings you joy, like nothing else, doesn't bring anybody else joy, it brings you joy. And you wrap a profitable business around that, your meaningful legacy is done. You live it every single day. It's not a legacy that you have like on your tombstone and people say nice things at your funeral. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Doesn't matter, because you get to live it every single day until you take your last breath. And that is what I call the ultimate trifecta. A joyful life, a profitable business, and a meaningful legacy. 1, 2, 3. You have them all. And it's a beautiful thing. And I want you to have it. So think about that. Like, what brings you joy? And how can you wrap a profitable business around that? Once you do that, you already have number 3. What do you think? Like, it's easy and simple. but it's not easy and it's not so simple. Well, it is simple. Okay, let me take that back. It's simple, but it's not easy. But it's worth it. I can tell you that it's worth it. It truly is. What do you think? I want your comments. I want your questions. I want your feedback. Get out a piece of paper and write down what brings me joy. How can I wrap a business around it? And like, just even leave the last column empty because it's going to happen. If you do those two things, you don't have to worry about the legacy. It's going to be there. It's going to be meaningful. It's going to be lasting, and it's going to bring you even more joy. And how do I know this? Because I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And I'm not saying that, to like beat my chest or whatever. I just know this works. I 100% know because I've lived it. And let me just say this too. I have been through some things, y'all. I have not had the perfect life, but I have had, and I do have, and I am enjoying a joyful life despite some stuff. Maybe I'll make a video about this stuff sometimes. It's been messy. It's been really messy, but it's also been really, really good. Like, I don't think anybody gets through life without messiness. Like, show me the person that does that. I don't think they exist. They like are born and then they unfortunately they're not here very long. It's not messy. I've had messy, but it's okay because I designed what I wanted and I tweaked it. If I didn't like the vanilla, I replaced it with the lemon. That's what I did. It's been joyful, and it still is because I get to talk to you. So tell me what you think. The ultimate trifecta: a joyful life, a profitable business, and a meaningful legacy. Do you have it? Do you want it? How can I help you? What do you think? Share it in the comments. I'll see you tomorrow.